I know why you came. You seek wealth, more wealth, but it's just going to take a simple ritual. The path you seek is not without consequences. Wealth doesn't come easy. You must make a huge sacrifice. The spirit demands a life for wealth, a life close to you, your wife. She must be the one.
In the heart of southwestern Nigeria, deep within the lands of Yoruba, nestled a quiet village called Ikira. It was a peaceful village. The people were proud descendants of Oduduwa, deeply rooted in tradition and community. Among the villagers lived a man named Kunle, whose life would soon unravel in tragedy. Kunle was known by all in Ikira. He was tall, muscular, and had once been a promising farmer. He had a wife called Sade, a woman of immense beauty and grace. Her kindness was unmatched in the village. Together, they were the perfect couple, envied by many. But beneath the surface, there was something that no one saw. Something feasting deep within Kunle's heart. A hunger, a desire for wealth that overshadowed everything else. It had started slowly, like a whisper in the wind. But over time, it grew louder and more insistent. Kunle had always believed he deserved more than the simple life he led. He saw how his rich friends from the city, driving in their sleek cars and expensive and finest clothes and jewelries were. It wasn't always this way in the early days of their marriage. Kunle and Sade lived happily, content with their small farm and humble home. They believed the land was a gift from the gods and that it would provide for them. And it did. The rain were generous and harvests were bountiful. The villagers would come to Kunle's farm to buy yams, vegetables, and other farm crops. Kunle was respected as an hard-working man. Sade too was loved for her kindness and generosity. But soon, Kunle began to change. The more he interacted with his rich friends, the more he grew dissatisfied with his life. Kunle began to complain. What is the point of all this hard work, Sade? Look at others living like kings, while we toil in the soil like common laborers. We deserve better. His wife will always remind him of the blessings they had. Kunle, we have each other, and we have peace. Wealth does not always bring peace and happiness. The gods and land provides for us. We don't lack anything. And that is enough. But Kunle's heart was already consumed with greed, and he began to neglect his farming activities and envied his rich friends so much. One day, his friend Adebayo came back from the city, and Kunle went to his house to see him. They greeted each other, and in the middle of their discussion, Adebayo said to Kunle, "My friend, you are too hardworking, but look at your life. You still toil like your forefathers. All this sweating for peanuts, when there is real money to be made. There is a way to make real money, my friend. You know this." "What do you mean?" Kunle asked, looking confused. Adebayo lowered his voice and said to him, "Not everyone who became rich in the city did so through honest means. There are other ways, quick ways, ways that the gods won't even punish you as long as you follow the rules." "What way is that?" Kunle asked. Adebayo whispered, "Ritual, sacrifice. There are forces in this world very powerful that can grant you wealth beyond your imagination. But those forces demand the price, a life for wealth. But there are ways to do it without spilling blood, just a small sacrifice, a token to the gods, and they will bless you with riches beyond your imagination. Think about everything and let me know when you make up your mind. I'll be waiting. Kunle was speechless. He stood up, feeling cold shivers on his body. He said his goodbye to his friend and left. That night, Kunle couldn't sleep. Adebayo's words played over and over in his mind. He thought about his wife Sade, who worked just as hard as he did too. Was it fair for them to suffer like this when others are living in luxury? Days turned into weeks, and Kunle's heart grew heavy with indecision. He began to withdraw from his family. He no longer worked on the farm, leaving Sade to tend to the crops. His love for his wife began to disappear, replaced by a growing frustration. He also pushed away the warnings of his conscience and began to obsess over the idea of the sacrifice and taking the path to riches. His wife noticed his sudden change in behavior and attitude towards her, and his obsession over money and wealth. And she said to him one night, Kunle, what has happened to you? You are no longer the husband I married. I don't understand your obsession over money these days. This greed will consume you. We have everything we need. Money cannot buy happiness or peace. Kunle turned to Sade, his voice cold and harsh, saying, You don't understand, do you? We are living like beggars. Why others live like kings? I am tired of this life. I want more. Sade's warning to him fell on deaf ears. He had already made up his mind. One evening, he approached Bayo and said to him, I am ready, Adebayo. His friend smiled and said, You won't regret this, my friend. I will take you to Babatunde, the herbalist that helped me. Few days later, Bayo took Kunle to a remote part of the forest where they met the Baba, an old man with white hair. The herbalist welcomed them and said to them,
I know why you came. You seek wealth, more wealth, but it's just going to take a simple ritual. The path you seek is not without consequences. Wealth doesn't come easy. You must make a huge sacrifice. The spirit demands a life for wealth, a life close to you, your wife. She must be the one.
Kunle stood there speechless and shocked. The thought of sacrificing Sade sent a feeling of discomfort through him. Sade has been his companion, his love, the mother of his future children. He turned to his friend and said, Ade, you didn't tell me this is the kind of sacrifice that you mean. Sacrificing my wife? So this is the sacrifice you did. You lied to me, Adebayo. Why didn't you explain this well for me? So this is how your first wife died. I can't do this. Adebayo replied him, My friend, we all make sacrifices in this life to get what we want. Do you think I was happy sacrificing my wife? See, my friend, be a man. You can marry another wife that will give you children. There are a lot of women in this world that will want you once you are rich. Stop acting like a boy and be a man. Kunle thought about what his friend said and agreed. The power of wanting to acquire the wealth was so strong, and his greed had already clouded his judgment. After a long thinking and silence, Kunle nodded. Then the Baba instructed Kunle to get his wife's clothes and a lock of his wife's hair with a goat's blood. Once the items are ready, he will perform the rituals. The next day, Kunle brought those things. The Baba performed the rituals, chanting incantations and offering the items to the gods. A small flame flickered in the center of the hut as the air grew thick with the presence of something unseen and strange. Go home, the Baba said when the ritual was completed. Within 14 days, you will begin to see the fruits of your sacrifice. Kunle went home happy and sad at the same time. The thought of losing his beautiful wife bothered him. He carried the weight of his sacrifice home. He ate dinner together with his wife, but he could barely taste the food. His mind was racing, filled with dread and anticipation. Sade had noticed his strange behavior. She tried talking and asking him, but Kunle was distant all night. Sade said nothing again, believing that her husband's restlessness would pass. Few days later, Sade fell seriously sick. Kunle already knew where the strange sickness came from. Adebayo advised Kunle that once his wife dies, he should leave the village immediately to avoid the villagers' suspicion. Adebayo also told him that once he leaves the village, he should rent a house in the city to start up a new life. Kunle agreed. On the 7th night of Sade's sickness, she went to bed that night and could not wake up. She died in her sleep. Kunle already knew that the ritual has already been perfected. He pretended to mourn his wife. The villagers sympathized with him so much. If you are enjoying this story, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Thank you. Few days later, after burying his wife, Kunle left the village immediately to the city. His friend already made plans for his accommodation. When he was settled after the 14th day that the Baba promised him, Kunle started getting opportunities in the city. He was making a lot of money. He started up a big business and it was moving well. He was really doing better. Money was coming. He started opening different businesses. He even bought a beautiful house and cars too. Kunle became a millionaire. That was the life he had always dreamed of. He was so happy. 1 year later, he remarried. He married another beautiful wife. And Kunle thought his life was going to be perfect, not knowing that there are consequences to his actions. 3 years into the marriage, his new wife could not give him a child. She kept having miscarriages. He related this issue to his friend, and his friend asked him to go see Baba. When he got there, the Baba told him that he won't be able to have a child of his own, that the blood of his unborn children are used to renew and keep his riches. Kunle was worried. Then the Baba told him that the day he will bear a child, that he shall die. Kunle got angry and left and went to his friend. He blamed his friend for not telling him full details of the sacrifice. What is the use of making money if I can't have children that will enjoy my wealth? That it is meaningless. Adebayo told him to carry his cross and not disturb or bother him again. That he too also have sacrifices that he's making. Kunle went home so sad and worried. What he didn't know was that that was the beginning of his retribution. He began to have nightmares, vivid and terrifying dreams, in which he saw dark figures roaming over him. He do see his late wife ghost everywhere, whispering to him, saying, "Why did you kill me? Kunle, why did you kill me? You must pay for what you did. You must pay. You would never have peace. You must pay." He would wake up in a cold sweat, his heart racing, or he would scream and run out of the compound, being chased by no one, in the eyes of people around him. He was the only one seeing the ghosts and the spirits. His second wife now see him as a mentally ill man. As time went on, strange things began to happen more to him. Even his second wife could now see it. Plates in the kitchen started breaking. Doors started banging on its own strangely. Lights started flickering on its own. His second wife could not bear it anymore. He packed her bags with fear and ran out. Kunle was left all alone in the big mansion. He doesn't have peace anymore. He started regretting his actions, wishing to turn back the hands of time when he was happy and living peacefully with his dead wife. He wished he listened to his late wife. He wished he listened to his late wife. He wished he was contented with what he heard. He blamed himself for being too greedy and wanting more. One day, he heard his friend Adebayo died mysteriously. He was left all alone. Nobody told him that the consequences was going to be this huge. He was shaken and frightened. He became a living corpse. His businesses started going down. People started distancing themselves from him. Kunle's wealth means nothing now. He is a broken man, isolated and tormented by the ghosts of his past. In the end, he left everything behind and retreated back to the village. The villagers were surprised at how he looked. He was alone, still haunted, realizing there is no escape from the consequences of his greed. One day, Kunle went to his wife's grave, knelt down and started crying and begging his wife for forgiveness. After crying and begging for a long time, he couldn't bear the guilt and pain anymore. He brought out a knife, stabbed himself to death on top of his wife's grave and died. That was how Kunle's greed destroyed his family and peaceful home and also led to his death. The villagers saw his body. They pitied him and buried him beside his wife's grave. Nobody actually could tell what happened in Kunle's life. Different stories and rumors were said and heard in the village about Kunle. Maybe using his wife for ritual. And the spirit of his wife later haunted and killed him. We should all know that greed can blind even the most honorable of hearts, leading to devastating consequences. The relentless pursuit of wealth at the expense of love, peace, integrity, and human life is a dangerous path. Peace, true happiness, and fulfillment cannot be found in material possession. Contentment, humility, peace, happiness, and gratitude are far more valuable than riches acquired through dishonorable means. We should all be careful on how we want wealth. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this story. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment, and also share this video. And also put on your notification buttons for more new videos. Till next time, guys. Bye.